want to find that drive and focus that has you locked in and on fire every single day, my book, The Mirror of Motivation, will do it for you. I bought a copy for you. You take care of the shipping. The book is free. Click the link down there. I got you. You are now tuned in to the best of the best. This is the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. This is the go-getter energy that moves you to make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. Putting all this together, you get the mindset, the method, the podcast known as Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. Today's topic is how to deal with unexpected issues. I was recording audio one particular day, and all of a sudden the audio program didn't work because I recently updated my computer to the new Mac operating system, and for some reason the audio program that recorded the audio all of a sudden just didn't work. It was broken by this new operating system. I ended up looking it up online, found a discussion board where someone said that the new operating system just breaks the program. It just doesn't work. I thought it was something wrong with me or my program or my computer, but it wasn't. It was just that the operating system messed it up. So I'm like, damn, what do I do now? And the funny thing is, and that led me to thinking of this topic. That's why I'm talking about this. And the funny thing is, just before writing the notes out for this particular episode, I got another unexpected message from someone else with some unexpected news that I'm going to have to deal with in some way, shape, or form. So it's perfect timing for me. Now, what about you? Maybe it's perfect timing for you too. Maybe you've gotten some unexpected news recently that you're going to have to address or deal with, or you know is going to be addressed and or dealt with by somebody else, and you're going to be involved. I'm sure in life you've had plenty of times where some unexpectedness occurred. Some surprise occurred, not the kind of surprise that you like, but the kind of surprise that you didn't want. You know, and when I was growing up, we would get the cereal boxes and they would have a big label on the front of the box that said surprise inside. And then we would dig our hands through the whole box of cereal just to get that prize out of there. So it was only me and my sister eating it. So I guess it was okay. But I know I'm not the only one who ever did that. And in some of the boxes, they would put the prize like outside of the bag, if you know what I'm talking about. But I'm not talking about the kind of surprise you're looking forward to. I'm not talking about the kind of surprise you go look for. I'm talking about the kind of surprise that you didn't know was coming. Once you realize that it's there and you get it, you don't actually want it, but you still had to deal with it anyway. How do you deal with those unexpected surprises and or issues in life? That's today's topic. Point number 1, accept change. If you have a normal situation going on right now and everything's going pretty smoothly right now, but then you get an unexpected situation, that's a change. That's a change to the situation. All right, so while you may not look at change that way, that is technically a change. It is literally a change. Know that change is inevitable. There will always be changes. Whatever's going on right now, whether it's good, bad, neutral, however you feel about it, it's going to change. It's not going to stay as it is. Change is inevitable, and some of these changes that are going to occur in life, they will happen at inconvenient times and in inconvenient places, and they may involve inconvenient people, relatively speaking. People who are inconvenient to you, maybe people to whom you are inconvenient to, and it may be inconvenient things that need to be done in order to adjust to this change or adapt to this change, or maybe to try to counteract this change or to make this change work smoothly with whatever you have going on already. But the change is absolutely happening. So accept the fact that things are not going to stay as they are. And sometimes when things change from how they are now, it may not be the way that you want them to change. It may not be as smooth as you would want it to be. But understand, everybody goes through it. So don't think that it's just a cloud hanging over you. Everybody has to go through this. Bruce Lee said in his book, Striking Thoughts, that you have to adapt to change, kind of like, he said, you had to be the wind. You have to feel like you're the wind or feel like you're water. You know how water adjusts to a cup? What Bruce Lee would say? He said it becomes the cup. How it adjusts to a bottle, it becomes the bottle. It adjusts to a stream by becoming the stream. Water adjusts to whatever you put it in, it adjusts to it. Whatever land you put it on, it finds a way to adjust to it. And that's the way that Bruce Lee, everybody knows who Bruce Lee is, right? The famous martial artist. I don't know even what kind of martial arts he did. I'm not into martial arts like that, but I heard that Bruce Lee has some really great thoughts that he put in this book, Striking Thoughts. I went and read it couple of years ago, and I always remembered this saying that he said, that water becomes the cup Water fills the cup by becoming the cup. And it's the same idea that I'm giving you, that any change that you undergo that change the same way that water undergoes change. You have water in a coffee mug and then you pour it into a bottle. All of a sudden, the water has just changed form from the shape of a coffee mug to the shape of a bottle. It doesn't go through any period of feeling bad about itself. It doesn't go through denial. It doesn't argue about it. It doesn't go tell somebody to fix it back. It doesn't complain. It doesn't write a 3-paragraph post on Facebook bitching about it. It just immediately adjusts to the situation. And us as human beings, while we probably won't turn into water, even though human beings are like a certain percentage made up of water, right? But what I mean is, while we won't turn into water, we can condition ourselves to mentally and spiritually adjust to situations the same way that water does. Okay, this is a change. I'm probably not going to be able to change this back. This looks like this situation is going to have to be dealt with as it is. Let me adjust myself to this situation instead of trying to force the situation to adjust to me. Now, while there are times, and I've talked about this, there are times to make the situation adjust to you. There are times when you got to kind of push the issue. You got to kind of force the issue. And I've done episodes on that. And if you're a member of the game group, you can see those all in the game group member area at workonmygame.com/game group. There are times to force the issue, but there are also times when you should let the issue force you. Is the better way of saying it. It's kind of like if it's summertime and you had on shorts and t-shirts every day, and then all of a sudden it's wintertime, it's a little bit cooler outside. Don't try to force the weather to change. You might just want to change your clothes. All right? That would be kind of forced to think, all right, if I just keep wearing shorts and tank tops, all of a sudden it'll just be summer again tomorrow when I wake up. That's probably not going to happen. You look like a fool doing that. You probably think that forced to even think of doing it. But this is what a whole lot of people do in life when they get met with change that is inevitable, change that is not changing back, change that is permanent, but people keep doing the things that they were doing before the change occurred. And then all of a sudden they look like museum pieces. They're still living in 3 weeks ago, or they're living in 3 years ago, or 2 decades ago, when everything has changed around them, but they haven't changed within. So again, follow Bruce Lee's advice. I suggest you read the book. Again, it's called Striking Thoughts. It is all about Bruce Lee's whole philosophy, which goes way deeper than just filling a cup by becoming a cup. There's a lot of things that he talks about there that you don't have to be in martial arts, because I'm not into martial arts at all. Have never done it in my life. But you'll gain a lot from that book. So keep your mind open and reading books from people who are from and in different fields from maybe the things that you're most interested in. That's where you can get some great ideas that you can bring over to what you do, and you can force some change on everybody else, all your competition. That's a different subject. Moving on to point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is how to deal with the unexpected issues of life, which are guaranteed to happen. Understand that you always have other ways of getting things done. Or Yahoo. Everybody knows the website Yahoo. You know what that Yahoo stands for? It stands for you always have other options. You always have other ways of getting things done. So when a change occurs that blocks you from doing things or continuing to do things the way you had been doing them, that doesn't mean you can't get the thing done. It just means you need to think, challenge yourself, brainstorm. If there's more than one of you, then everybody brainstorm other ways of getting things done now that this change has occurred. When I was in Germany once, I'll tell you the story. We had practice earlier that day. I don't remember if it was a weekend or weekday. We had practice one day early in the day, and I'm taking a nap. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I had a German cell phone because the team manager had given me this German cell phone he wasn't using anymore. I bought a little SIM card because that's what we had to do at the time. You had to put the new SIM card in there and get some minutes on the card. So I had a phone where anybody in Germany could call me, and I can call anybody in Germany. This is about 2008. So this is before, nowadays probably if you play basketball overseas, you can probably bring your American phone over there and use it just as easily. But back then it wasn't like that. You needed to use a phone that was located in that country. So I'm taking a nap. Maybe we had practice later that night. It's probably why I was taking a nap. But my phone rings, and it's the team manager calling me. So I answer the phone. He wakes me out of my sleep. I'm like, yo, what's going on? He's like, yo, you're going to have to pack up your stuff and leave the hotel that you're in. Now, mind you, I just woke up and I just answered the phone. And I'm like, what? He said, you got to pack up all your stuff and you're going to have to leave the hotel that you're in. And I'm like, well, I had several questions at the same time. You know, when someone says something to you or something happens and you have a bunch of questions you want to ask, and you kind of pause because you're trying to figure out which one to ask first. You're trying to organize the questions. So the first question I asked him was like, what the hell are you talking about? What's going on? And the manager said, well, the person who runs the hotel, they're crazy, something wrong with them. The team manager started blaming the hotel owner for the situation, for the fact that I was going to have to leave the hotel. When the long and short of the whole situation was, the team that I was playing for at the time, they had not paid the hotel for an extended period of time. And the hotel owner had finally had enough and said, all right, these players who you have in this hotel, they got to go. And they got to go like right now. So I'm in the middle of my sleep, and they didn't say it to me. The owner didn't say it to me because the owner knew I wasn't the person who was supposed to be paying. They knew the team was supposed to be paying. So they went to the team and told them, get these people out of my hotel right now. So that's when I got the phone call. So he started blaming the hotel owner, saying that they were crazy or something like that, when they really just didn't pay him. And then I asked him my next question after he gave me that excuse. I asked him, all right, well, I'm packing up my stuff. I'm going to leave the hotel. Well, where the hell am I going to go? I don't have a place to stay. I don't have, I doubt, since I knew already that they hadn't paid the hotel, because I would see the hotel owner every morning and she would kind of make comments alluding to the fact that they hadn't paid, and she knew that I had nothing to do with it. So since they didn't pay this hotel, I knew they didn't have money to pay any other hotel. So I'm like, well, Mr. Team Manager, what the hell am I supposed to do now? And he was like, well, look, I'll come get you in 20 minutes and I'll take you to the airport. Now, I'm like, the airport? I'm like, take me to the airport for what? Where am I going? Where am I flying to? He was like, oh, well, you can, you got your return ticket. You can fly back to the USA. And I'm like, hell no. This is what I'm thinking in my mind. I didn't say that to him because it really didn't matter what he said. Basically, I knew at this moment that he was saying this, he was basically telling me that they were going to let me go out of my deal that I had with the team because they didn't have a place for me to stay and they didn't have any money anyway. They hadn't paid the damn hotel. So I needed to find a new situation. All right, the point that I'm telling you here, we're still on point number 2, that you always have other ways of getting things done. I need to find a new situation because I was not prepared to leave. I didn't want to leave the country because I knew if I went back to the USA, it'd be 10 times harder for me to get another playing opportunity. So I needed to find a new situation quick. I, on my own, outside of the team, because I consider myself a free agent at the moment that he made this phone call to me, I found myself a new place to stay, and then I just started hustling. And within the next 2 weeks, I found myself a new playing situation in that country. Now, a key element, I'm telling you that story to explain to you that a key element of exercising this option or these other options that you have outside of whatever was already working, all of a sudden doesn't work anymore, but you're hit with this unexpected change. The key element to making it work is you must be definite about your outcome. You must be definite in that, all right, this is not working the way that I thought it was going to work, but I'm still definite about making it work. So now I got to figure out a new way to make it work. What many of us run into as a roadblock in life is that we have things that we want to do, and then we start working on that thing. But as soon as, or if we hit some kind of snafu in the plan where some change happens, some unexpected issue occurs, and that shows us that we won't be able to get it done the way that we thought we were going to get it done, or we can't keep getting it done the way that we had been getting things done, many of us quit at that moment. Many of us give up. Many of us, we may not quit immediately, but we'll keep trying to do things the old way, the way that had been working. And then finally we realize we can't do it the old way anymore, and we don't want to challenge ourselves to find a new way. We don't want to start back at zero and try to find a brand new way to get to our goal, because the reason why is not because we're out of ideas, not because we are not mentally tough, not because we lack ingenuity, is because we were not definite about our outcome from the beginning. See, when someone's not definite about their outcome from the beginning of what they start, if things don't go perfectly according to plan, they will give up as soon as that happens. As soon as things aren't going the way they expected, they give up. It's over. It's no more. When people are not definite about their outcome, they won't put the time in. They won't invest the time or energy into coming up with contingency plans for a situation that gets fouled up, a situation that starts going left, a situation that all of a sudden you get a phone call 4 p.m, your team manager telling you got to leave the hotel and fly from Germany to the USA because they don't have any more money. If you're not definite about your outcome, you'd end up, metaphorically speaking, on that plane back to the USA. You end up out of your situation. You end up no longer pursuing that goal because you were not definite about it from the beginning. Understand something. When you have a big goal, when you have ambitions, when you have really lofty aims that you're looking to reach, you probably won't accomplish it through the first plan that you came up with. Your first plan is probably not going to work. The thing that you were doing at the beginning, or the thing that you are doing if you're at the beginning right now, is probably not the same thing you're going to be doing at the end. The way that you envision things working for you right now is probably not the way things are going to work out. That's just the way that it goes. And you can go read the biographies or autobiographies or memoirs of anyone who has achieved anything worthwhile. And I guarantee every single one of them is going to have this inflection point in their story where they thought everything was going to work out one way, but then something happened that all of a sudden is not going to work out that way. And you're like, all right, what the hell do I do now? And if they wrote a book about their story, I guarantee they figured out another way. If they wrote a book about their story, I guarantee they were definite about their outcome before the change happened, before the unexpected issues occurred. They were definite about their outcome already. Or when that unexpected change happened, maybe they hit an emotional inflection point that made them more definite about achieving their outcome. This is something that I told you. I did an episode called Who the Hell is Dre Baldwin? I believe it was early in the 1200s. And I told you the story of how I was kicked off my college basketball team. When I went home after college and I told my parents I wanted to play pro basketball, they weren't quite seeing the idea. And those two experiences made me even more definite in achieving my outcome. When those two things happened, made me more definite in achieving my outcome than I had been before they happened, or had they not happened. Who knows how I would have gone about achieving my aim had those two experiences not happened. But sometimes experiences that we go through, these unexpected issues, these changes, unknown surprises that we go through actually make us more definite in achieving our outcomes. But understand, for you to exercise these other options outside of your original plan, because I guarantee your original plan is not the one that will get you to the end, you must be definite about your outcome. Either be definite at the beginning or become definite as you go along. But without that definiteness of purpose, you will not achieve your outcome, especially when the changes come about. Because I guarantee you they're coming. Your definiteness needs to be stronger than the issues that pop up. It's a question that we've addressed here recently. What is stronger, you or the circumstance? What's stronger, your definiteness of purpose or the issues and unexpected surprises that have gotten in your way? That's a question that I'm asking you rhetorically, but you need to answer definitely. Point number 3. Today's topic is how to deal with the unexpected issues, unexpected changes that occur in life. Tap into your meditation practice. What? What'd you say? You say, oh, you don't have a meditation practice? Oh. Well, then you need to tap into your meditation practice. You're going to need to actually have one. All right. If you don't know what meditation is, Google it. Go grab a couple apps off and put them on your phone. You can get them for free. And I'm going to, as I explain this even more, go download the apps while I talk about this. This is why anyone who's ever heard of meditation, I think all of us have. You ever heard of yoga? All of us have. You know why they call meditation and yoga? There's no such thing as a meditation expert. No such thing as a yoga expert. I mean, there are, but there's not. But if you ask them, what they do, they say meditation practice, yoga practice. You could teach a yoga class every day of the week, 3 times a day. You still wouldn't call yourself a yoga expert. It's a practice. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of the verbiage and why they call it that. You can read up on that very easily. Just go and Google it. I'm not an expert at explaining either anyway, but the practice of both, whether you do yoga, meditation, or a combination of both. I personally do both. I've been doing both for about 5 years plus. The practice of either of these, yoga and meditation, is not just about the 20 minutes or the hour that you're in class or the 20 minutes that you're sitting alone by yourself humming. The reason why you practice these is so that when you get into your day-to-day life, the other 23 hours of the day, you're conditioned mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even physically conditioned to deal with the unexpected issues, unexpected changes, and the things that will happen in life. Meditation and yoga, both of them on some levels aim to have you empty your mind and try to find that stillness, find calm, find peace. And all these things, stillness, calm, and peace, these are all things that you need and you would definitely want when some unexpected surprises occur in your life. Is this true or not true? Think about the last time some unexpected surprise occurred in your life. Did you feel stillness, calm, and peace? Probably not. at least not in that moment. Maybe you felt a little bit of consternation. Maybe your cortisol levels shot up. Maybe you're a little bit stressed out. Maybe you got a little bit anxious. Maybe you became emotional, angry, confrontational, probably a whole bunch of energies that you probably don't want to have with you all day. But the reason why you practice meditation and yoga for an hour or for 20 minutes is so when you're not doing yoga and you're not meditating, that practice carries over to those other areas. It's the same thing with lifting weights. You don't lift weights just so you can look good in the gym. You're only in the gym for 1 hour a day. When you lift weights consistently, the other 23 hours of the day, you still look good, even though you're not lifting weights anymore, right? You still have strength even when you're not lifting weights. You lift weights at 6 in the morning, at 6 at night, if you need to lift up a heavy package or something, you're able to do it. It's not like the muscles only activated when you're in the gym. The hour that you spend in there every morning allows you to be strong for the other 23 hours of the day, right? It's the same thing with meditating and yoga. And any of you who's never done these things, hopefully I'm explaining to you clearly enough why they matter to you, because every one of us is going to go through situations in life where unexpected issues occur, when things that we weren't expecting to happen actually happen. So the more yoga, or the more consistently, let's say, excuse me, you've been doing yoga, or the more consistently you've been meditating, the easier it will be for you to go into that state mentally, emotionally, spiritually, when something unexpected happens. You're able to deal with it calmly, peacefully, and still fully. So you should start doing both. Go download some apps, go watch some YouTube videos. There are probably 1 million videos on each out there online. You could take 5 minutes a day, 2 minutes a day, an hour a day. You need it to calm your mind, calm your spirit, calm your energy. And I guarantee it will help you deal with unexpectedness, the inevitable unexpectedness of life, much more smoothly. So let's recap today's topic, which is how to deal with unexpected issues. I thought of this issue again because I was recording something. All of a sudden the program didn't work. Looked it up and it said, all right, the program doesn't work anymore. So now I had to get a brand new program. I had to make contingency plans that I didn't have in place already. So I'm following my own advice. Point number 1. When unexpected issues occur, accept change. Know that change is inevitable in life. No matter how things are going right now, it won't always be going that way. And some of these changes that happen will be inconvenient changes. Moving with the natural flow of life, the essence of life is change. And Bruce Lee, he wrote a book called Striking Thoughts. I suggest you read it. He said, how water fills a cup, it becomes a cup. How water fills a bottle, it becomes a bottle. How water fills up an ocean, it becomes the ocean. Anywhere you put water, it becomes whatever it is. Whatever it's in, rather. You should aim to conduct yourself the exact same way. Whatever situation you find yourself in, while there are times to force the issue of a situation the way that you want it, there are other times when you shouldn't force it and you should just accept it and become whatever the situation is. Now, what's the difference between the two? That's the wisdom that you gain from life experience. You got to get out there and get that activity knowledge. And everything I said in the last 2 sentences, I've done at least 5 episodes on. And if you're a member of the game group, you can go listen to all of those. Point number 2, you always have other ways of getting things done. I told you a story how this team manager, when I was in Germany, woke me up in the middle of a nap, told me that they weren't paying for the hotel anymore and I had to get the hell out of there. And I had to find a new situation immediately because what the options they were offering me weren't the ones that I wanted. So this is a situation, just like I just said, there are times when you got to force the issue and make things the way you want it, but also times you got to accept it. So in this situation, I did both. I didn't say, hey, I'm not leaving the hotel. I accepted the fact that I was going to have to leave, but I did not accept the fact that he was saying, I'll take you to the airport. I said, no, don't take me to the airport. Take me to the train station because I'm going to stay somewhere else and I'm going to find another situation in this country, which is exactly what I did. The key element of this, being able to use these other options that you have, is you must be definite about your outcome. This definiteness needs to be stronger than the issues that will pop up. There will be issues that pop up. Things will not go according to plan. You must be definite enough about your plan that you will fight through the situations, force the issue past the unexpectedness, and adapt to the unexpectedness at the same time, a combination of both, to keep getting to where you want to get to. That's what it feels like when you're being definite about what you do. You know what to adapt to and you know what to change as needs to be changed. Point number 3, tap into your meditation practice. And you're saying, what are you talking about meditation, Dre? I don't have a meditation practice. Well, that's why you need to get one. Meditation and yoga are both called practices for a reason, because you never master them. That's why you'll always be doing them. And the reason why they are practices is because you aren't becoming a master at meditation or yoga during the hour or the 35 minutes that you're doing it. It's practice for the rest of the day. So when you deal with unexpected situations, so you deal with changes that you didn't know were coming, when you deal with surprises that you didn't want, you are able to confront them with stillness, calmness, and peace. All things that you need and would definitely benefit you when unexpected surprises occur in life. That just makes sense, does it not? So you need to start doing both right now. So go download some apps, go on YouTube, go look up some videos and some ideas and practices. You need to start doing these every day. If you only can do 5 minutes, do it for 5 minutes every day. I guarantee as you do it consistently, it's not immediate gratification. We talked about that the other day. As you do it consistently, you will start to feel the effects of both happening to you in the rest of your day. Not just the 5 minutes or the hour, but the rest of the day. Now, what's going on in the game group? Every episode of this podcast, Work on Your Game podcast, 6 additional courses, 6 exclusive courses, not additional, but exclusive courses that you cannot get access to anywhere else. Background commentary on all of my TED Talks, masterclass categories. I've categorized every episode of this podcast by topic. So if there's certain topics that you want to hear me talk about, yes, I've talked about that. Yes, I've talked about that. And yes, I talked about that one too. We got categories on each one of those. My daily social media stories I'm going to be uploading into the game group membership area. Masterclasses on personal development, on business, on sales, and a whole bunch more stuff that I'm not going to try to explain it all to you here because it would take forever. All you need to do is go to workonmygame.com/game group, read about everything that we're offering here in the game group, listen to testimonies of people who have worked with me directly and utilized the material that I'm talking about here. Read the reviews of this podcast on whatever app you're listening to it on right now. 1,300 episodes. It is not available anywhere else on the web. The only way you can get access to all of them, over 800 hours of material, is at the game group. Go to workonmygame.com/game group. Let's get to it. Work on your game. Dre all day.